what made you guys initially interested in doing a World War I piece? Were you at all skeptical, or did you want to jump right into it?
Well, it's like...
Initial reaction.
No. I was thrilled about not skeptical because I grew up flying, so it was really kind of like it was like a dream project for me. I grew up around aviation and in love with that kind of stuff. So you get to do a movie about it was just a really great privilege.
Well, this is an independent, but it's pretty big independent. It's about 60 million, so it's actually a lot bigger than a lot of the movies I've done. But it really was kind of a studio-sized film, and it probably normally would be done at a studio for probably twice the budget. But so they had to kind of make do with this size budget, and it was great. It was just, I guess we just had to do it in a lot less time. Mm-hmm. But it seemed, like full-scale movie. I think in this movie we have more. We use more World War I style planes than
any other movie ever filmed.
I play Blaine Rawlings, who starts off as a rancher in Texas, and he loses his ranch. He doesn't really have anything, and he, believes strongly in this fight. He feels that it's a good cause, and so volunteers despite the fact that America hadn't joined the war yet.
And how about your character?
I play a character called Eddie Beagle, and he kind of enters the war because he's actually kind of fleeing persecution from the United States. He's kind of a crook, a criminal, not really, doesn't really care about anybody but himself at the beginning of the film. And it's really, as the story progresses and as his past finally catches up to him, and even once they discover the true nature of who he actually is, they accept him anyway. And so he ends up really finding, for the first time in his life, a family and a brother, and brothers that he's really a part of. It's just like, it's probably different for James. He'd done a lot more than I had before. It was my first time doing anything on green screen, so it's definitely a challenge creating the whole world for yourself, because you don't have anything real to react off of. Everything is, like, with the exception of bullet hits on the airplane, you're sitting there and you're trying to put in your mind all the different aircraft that are around you and what's going on, when in reality there's 5 fans blasting wind at your face, a guy staying there with a tube, one sticking up between your legs, all trying to get the wind effect. And so, it was really kind of a challenge to really set in there, because when you're doing a scene with somebody else and there's another actor, there's, you can kind of play back and forth, but this, you really have to all create it yourself.
I thought it was better, just because, better than it could have been, because we had a plane in there, in this green screen, that we could actually sit in, and it kind of grounded you to the situation. I would just hate to be, I think it would be so much harder to be on a green screen stage where you're supposed to imagine like a whole city behind you and like a robot stepping on your eye or something like that. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a prop that can. The Martians are our friends.
I think one of the things on top of that, no, it's just really the sense of history of what these guys really did. And these guys were true American heroes that went and volunteered for no other reason than they thought it was the right thing to do. And I think it's, an important part of history for people to learn and for people to know about. And I think this film really does a nice heritage to all of them.
I guess, I think the main thing about this film for me is it shows men who have volunteered and put their lives on the line. And, we have a volunteer army now, and no matter what you believe about the cause, these are men that are willing to make, ultimate sacrifice, and takes more guts than I've shown in my life. So just paying, tribute to that.